This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Adam Smith, that was some way, and wasn't it? Just give me your immediate reaction, please.
I'm just so excited, Umar, and relieved and happy, and I thought they looked fantastic. And do you know what? It's been such a week. There's been a huge buzz here, an enormous electricity around Manchester. This has been so long in the melting pot. The press conference, there were parts of it that were totally unsavoury yesterday. There were parts of it that were okay. They went over the line. It was wrong. We said that yesterday. And look, they're making weight, and they came in today. And it was almost like yesterday, let's deal with that, which we dealt with. And today, it's about them making weight and about them focusing on the fight. And I just had a feeling, having been around both of them all week, that they were both going to come in electrifying shape, in fantastic condition, Umar, and they did. They both looked brilliant on the scales. I'm so happy that Kel came in underneath that 149, underneath the 10.9. It just shows how much he wants it. And was that a psychological little edge for Kel today after maybe a tough time yesterday? And I think Amir then came and was looked unbelievable too. I just think it shows what this fight means, both to them, to the public, to everybody. And it's just great that they are in the condition they're in, and they are primed and ready for battle. And let's hope we get a fight and a night to remember and to mark this rivalry.
I'm sure we will, and we'll talk about that in a second. I don't want to go over this for too long, but just one comment from you, please, about yesterday. So what's Sky's position about everything that was said in press conference? Obviously, I'm referring to the racism accusations from Amir Khan towards Khan-Brook. What's the position from Sky?
There's no room in this business, in this sport, in this world for any racism or any homophobia or anything like that. It's despicable, it's wrong, and it was wrong what happened up there, and I felt remarkably uncomfortable. And it was difficult trying to sort of navigate them back to focusing on what we're here for, which is a great fight, which is two welterweights who are, have been revered over the last decade or two in Britain. They're exemplary professionals, and up to 1:30 yesterday they've acted like that. We've had the fire between the two men, the two sides, but what they did up there was wrong. And look, I spoke to Robert Smith. The teams were talked to, and it's not right, Umar. We know that. I said that yesterday on Sky Sports News. Ben said exactly the same thing. We don't tolerate that. It's absolutely wrong. Look, they are making weight. Emotions are going to run high in fight week. So there is that to take into consideration, but it doesn't make it right. It was wrong what they did. They know that, and look, they got on the scales today, and we concentrate on the fight, and we move forwards from it.
Okay, thank you for that, Adam. Yeah, tomorrow night, what time can we expect Ringwalks, for the main event?
I think we're looking at sort of 10:15, 10:30. I mean, obviously with these things are flexible, and we wait to see how the great card sort of moves forward, and got some fantastic fights on there. Really looking forward to the English title fight. I think Brad Ray's fight's a great one. You've got Fraser Clark making his professional debut, Vidal Riley his UK debut. So excited about those, and of course the Azim brothers and Natasha Jonas, trying to get that world title in the third attempt. So there's a great card, and I reckon we'll probably see the main protagonists in round about the sort of 10:30 mark. But these things, there could be problems backstage with the taping, the gloves, all the psychological battles. So, but let's hope it's around about that time, which will be a prime time for us and for everybody out there. And I just hope that people tune in and enjoy this one, because they don't come along every week, do they?
I don't know what you'll be doing at 10:30 tomorrow other than watching Khan-Brook.
Look, I just can't wait. I mean, I think I was saying to your esteemed colleague Coogan earlier, I was saying that Mayweather Pacquiao, he was saying that moment when they came together and the moment when Khan-Brook come together is going to be very surreal for all of us who've followed their careers for so long. And from a personal point of view, I've known Kel since he was a kid, since he was my youngest kid's age in Sheffield, and I've known Amir since he was a teenager, and I know their families and they know mine, and it's a very personal fight, this, and for Sky as well, the whole Sky team that have worked so hard over the years in showcasing both Kel and Amir to the audience. And I think obviously for every fight fan out there that's been following their careers, for the families, it's a big fight, and it's a fight that we weren't sure was going to happen. It is going to happen, and I just think everybody should relax, enjoy it, and let the gladiators do their work. And it's going to be an intense, savage battle. I think it's going to be ferocious at times. I think we're going to see skills. I think we're going to see big pockets of fire, and maybe we'll see plenty of knockdowns as well. Who can predict? That's the key. It's totally unpredictable, and but I think what we hope for is just a night that marks, the culmination of this rivalry.
Last question. Dependent on the fight, of course, it's very dependent. If it is a cracking fight, if there's a bit of controversy with the result, how likely is Khan v Brook 2?
Well, I like a rematch and a trilogy. I grew up on the Ben Eubank sort of rivalry, and I was reminiscing about Old Trafford the other day with Ben, who was, I think, born the week before or the week after the fight actually happened with Ben and Eubank. I grew up sort of watching the Hagler Hearns, Leonard Duran, all those sort of rivalries. And listen, if it's a great fight and both boys want to do it again, we can do it again. But let's concentrate on tomorrow night. We've waited so long for this. Let's find out what it's like. Let's find out what they have left, what they are. I mean, in the shape they're in, it seems like they'll give us an absolute firecracker. But let's have a look at tomorrow night. Let's enjoy that, and let's see what happens afterwards. But of course, if it's an absolute cracker, Ben and I will sit down and we'll make sure that we go again. Or there's some controversy like there was with Froch and Groves, and people demand the rematch. That's what is there. And yeah, I mean, of course, a summer stadium show is. But it's got to rely on whether it's a great fight or whether it's there's something strange about. Something that unfolds, or there's a decision that's bitterly contested or disputed. So let's see what happens tomorrow night, and then we can have that conversation in the post-fight presser, or more likely in the weeks to follow, because they're going to give so much tomorrow night that I think both Amir and Kelly are going to be pretty tired after the fight, and obviously for the loser it's going to be a tough place to be. So I'm hoping there's real respect between the pair afterwards. I'm hoping we get a classic. But you never know. I always say to the guys at Sky, and I'm saying to the Boxer team, when the bell goes, it's sort of over to them, and we just watch and admire the fighters that we love go to work and entertain us and put their careers and everything on the line for their families and their future. And I absolutely adore both fighters, and it's going to be in many ways an enjoyable one to watch, but in many ways a tough one to watch, because you don't want either of them to lose, really. But yeah, let's see what we get tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that afterwards. But just let's enjoy February the 19th at the Manchester Arena, and let's hope we get a night that we will never forget.
Well, if it's a good fight, I'm sure Old Trafford and the Etihad Stadium might be getting some calls from Sky Sports and Boxer. Adam Smith, thank you very much for your time all week. We won't pester you till after the fight, all right?
Thank you very much. Cheers, Umar.